Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be building a weather app. This weather app, it displays the full 7-day forecast and also has some extra weather details as well, like wind speed, sunset, sunrise, and wind direction. And let's go ahead and refresh this page, and we got a nice default page. Welcome to the weather app, and enter a city name to get a weather forecast. Let's go ahead and enter something like Paris. And now it shows Paris, shows any city that you enter, and it also captures errors as well. So let's type in some gibberish, and it shows city not found. Enter a valid city name, a valid city. So yeah, let's get started. I got the GitHub repo open on my other monitor, so I'll be looking back and forth, and I'm gonna try to explain, the code the best I can. So I created a new folder on my desktop, and I'm about to go ahead and install NextJs, and we'll be using NextJs, Typescript, and Tailwind for styling. So let's go ahead and copy this code here on NextJs. Go ahead and open up our terminal inside VS Code and paste that inside there. So what is your project name? I'm just gonna name it just weather-app. And TypeScript, yes. Would you like to use ESLint? No. Tailwind, yes. Source directory, no. And app router, yes. And import alias, no. So while that's installing, I don't think we got to do anything else. See, NextJS does it all for you. It installs Tailwind and installs TypeScript. So don't really got to do anything but wait, and then we can start coding and get things moving. So like I said, I got the GitHub repo open on my other monitor, so I'm going to try to explain this code the best I can. This took me about, I want to say, I've been working on it all last week. I started, I believe, last Sunday, and I just finished yesterday, and it was Monday yesterday. So it took me about, I want to say, what's that, 8 days to complete it. Okay. All right, so everything is done there. Let's go ahead and we can either CD to it, but I just open it up, to be honest. Go to desktop, go down to weather and weather app, and I just open it from there. All right, so we got it open. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and remove everything we don't need. It's not much. It's not like Create React App where you gotta spend 30 minutes removing everything. So I'm going to just remove everything in public. You don't need any of that. And let's go up to the app directory page. We can remove everything in here. Scroll down. We probably should just select all and just delete everything, and then we could just REFE. And if you guys don't have that snippet that I just did, that is a extension. I mentioned this in my other tutorial. There is an extension, it's this one here, ES7 React Redux React Native Snippets, and then you have the ability to do that little snippet I just did to auto complete all of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove React, and I'm just gonna change this to home and then change that to home. So we should be left with something like that. And layout, I'm not gonna touch anything for now. Global CSS, I'm going to remove all of this here and just leave that. Favicon, we could just remove that. I like my project folders to be just cleaned out of just everything I don't need, even if it's little favicons like that, or favicon, however you say it. So that should be deleted. My computer goes so slow. All right, so I think that's it. I think we're good. I think we're good to go. So first thing we're gonna do is inside the app folder, let's go ahead and create our component folder. Let's go ahead and do component, and we're not going to put anything in there for now. And then we're also going to be using a utils folder. So inside the app folder again, we'll make a utils. Okay, so we're not putting anything in there for now. So I'm trying to think of how we're going to do this. What we're going to start with. So I say we start with, let's go ahead and npm run dev it to make sure everything is working fine first. Npm run dev. So when you use a NextJS, you want to use npm run dev. If it doesn't work with npm run start or npm start, I believe. So you got to use npm run dev and let that start up. Let's go to our local host. This is a new browser window, so it doesn't have anything saved. Localhost 3000. Let that load. All right, and I think we're ready to start coding. Go ahead and close out of that, and that's loading up. You can ignore the errors in this CSS thing. There's a way to get rid of them, but I kind of forgot. You can go into settings and get rid of these errors, but they're not nothing that's going to break our code or anything. All right, so we see page, and this is our home page there. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing we're going to do is we have to make this page a use client, because we're using NextJS and we'll be using on clicks, and we'll be setting state and everything on this. So we got to make this a client component to do all of that. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And then I say that we start on the background and we'll work our way down. So we'll do the input, we'll do the logo, and we'll do all the other stuff too. So let's start that first. So inside the home function, we're going to start off with a div, and let's go ahead and give this a class name. This could be a class name of bg cover, and we're going to do a bg gradient. This is going to give us that blue color, bg gradient. And we need to do a bg gradient to r. And before I finish, I actually want to show you guys, you see the autocomplete I got for Tailwind? There's also an extension for that as well. So you go down, and I believe it's Tailwind CSS IntelliSense. And this is really, this comes in handy. I built an entire Tailwind CSS project without this, and I kept going back to the docs and everything, going back and forth. This really comes in handy. Like, this is essential. You really need this. So I would stop the video now if you don't have this, and make sure you install this because it's really helpful. All right, so back to our page. So we gotta do a background gradient to r, which is to right, and we're gonna do from. So this is how you do gradients in Tailwind. So we're gonna do from blue dash 500. Okay, and then we're gonna do a to blue 300. All right, so we shouldn't see anything now because we didn't set a height for anything. So to see it, we have to do a height dash screen, and now we should be able to see it. It loads. There we go. We got our nice gradient. But I'm actually gonna switch this from height screen. So this is also the cool thing about that extension that I showed you guys. So whenever you hover over, a Tailwind syntax, it shows how the CSS looks. So height screen is height 100 VH, and you hover over this. This is gradient to that color, and then var, and like this is how it looks in Tailwind. BG cover is background size cover. So that's the cool thing. That extension is really helpful. So, but I'm actually going to switch this from HScreen to HFit. And what this does is it does the height, and I believe it's like, yeah, so it fits the content. I think that's a little bit better than height screen, because our content is actually going to be larger than the screen. So now we're not going to see it. So I'm actually going to switch it to screen, and then we're going to switch it back to height fit once we have some content in there. So I just got to remember to do that. So we got our background, And now let's do another div, and this will be our little box inside. And let's go ahead and give this a class name of bg white /25. And let's hover over this and see what this does. So this is background color, and it gives the white a white color, and then opacity of 0.25. So it's, bring the opacity down a little bit, and then we're going to do a width of full, which is width 100%. I'm going to do a rounded LG, which is border radius, and we're going to do a flex box, and a flex dash call, which is flex direction column, and we're going to do a h fit, which is also a fit content. But I think I might have to change that as well, just so we can see the box itself. So let's see, maybe I should do just a height of full. Maybe we'll be able to see it. Okay, maybe not. Okay, yeah, so we see it. So that gives like a little glass, as you can see, it gives like a little glass effect. It's like a little extra layer on top of our background. And I actually going to change this up a little bit because this looks a little funky. I'm going to take off the rounded LG, because if you look inside this corner, you can see like it's, I don't know, it looks a little weird. So we're going to take that off. All right, so that's that. And now we're going to work on our components for the we're going to do the input first, and then we're going to do the logo, and then work on the current weather data and all that stuff. So this is going to be a long project. So I'm going to do our div, and this is going to hold our like input. Let's go ahead and do our input and logo, or we should just probably just name it like nav or something. Input and logo. So this is going to hold that. So we're gonna let's give this a class name of, so this is going to be a flex box, and I'm going to do a flex call, which is flex direction column, and a justify between, and an item center. I probably should just do this after I put the stuff in so you guys can see what it's doing. So let's actually remove this, and we're just going to leave the div like that. So let's go ahead and import our input component, which we didn't make yet. So we're just going to go ahead and put it here. And so we're going to have an input, and we're also going to have a H1 with the name weather app. All right, perfect. And I had a dot there. Makes it look a little better. All right, so let's go ahead and make our input component now. I'm going to do input .tsx. We're using Typescript. And if you guys downloaded that snippet, we can just do RAFE, click on that, and we got our arrow function with our import and exports. All right, and now let's go back to our page so we can get rid of this error and import that. Import input from there. All right, so we got our input, and we should be able to see it now. Gonna refresh. All right, so we got that. So now we could go ahead and start styling our little div box now. So now we'll be able to see, what everything is doing. So let's go ahead and, for the div, let's do a class name of flex, a flex call, a justify between, a item center, and a padding of 12, so P12. And now it should look a little better. Okay, nice. All right, okay, I see what I did there. So for MD, so for medium viewports and up, we're gonna do a flex row. So this is the media query for Tailwind. So now we should see a flex row. So that's how it looks on desktop, and then that's how it looks on mobile. All right, perfect. Oh, my phone was ringing, sorry. I don't know why. All right, so we got that working, and now we can start styling our input and getting everything done with that. So let's go over to our input, and let me open up input on this so I can see it. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is do a use client, because we'll be doing on clicks and all that type of stuff in here. So let's go ahead and do use client. And we actually need to go and install React icons. Let's go to React icons, and we got to install this React icons. Copy that. Go and install React. This should be the only package, the last package we have to install. Okay. Let's install that and wait till that's done. Okay, nice. And then we can go ahead and npm run dev again. I just want to do, while that's loading back up, I just want to do a quick recording check. Make sure everything is looking good and you guys can see everything. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh our app. All right, so on mine I use Material UI icons. On this one I'm going to use React icons. So it's going to be a little bit different. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and do I'm going to do a form because we're going to be using the input element, and we don't need this action. Let's remove that. And we're going to do our input, and input is a self-closing tag. And then still inside of the form, we're going to put a div in here, and this is going to be our search icon, which we need to find here. So let's go ahead and do search. And we can use either one of these. Let's do, I like this one. I just use a regular one, I guess. Use this one. Let's import that. Oh. Alright. I'm gonna put it right in between this div here. Like that. But need to do the Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and import it. We're gonna import that. I believe we gotta go in brackets like that, and then it's gonna be from React icons /AI. So when you're using React icons, that actually got me stuck when I first started using React icons. I was wondering why my imports wasn't working. So if you look at React icons, they have little not little, but they have, you know, FC, they have BS, they have IM. So whenever you're importing, you have to go by whatever that says. So we're using AI outline search, so now we got to do React icon /AI. So that's really important. All right, so now let's go ahead and go back to our app. Still gonna need React icons open, so let's just leave it open for now. All right, so let's go ahead and style this up a little bit. We're gonna do a class name of flex. We're gonna do an item center. We're gonna do a MD, so medium viewports and up. We're gonna do an MD of width 2/4, 2/4, And what this is I believe is with 75%. Oh, it's 50%. Oh yeah, so 2 out of 4. Yeah, so 3/4 would be 75%. So 2/4, that's just with 50%. And then by default on mobile, because Tailwind is mobile first, width is going to be full, which is with 100%. And order 2 means that, actually I'm not going to put this yet because I kind of want to explain that a little bit better. So with full, and that should be it for now for that. And now let's go to our input and start styling this up a little bit. Let's do a type of text, and we're going to do a placeholder of just search. Probably just be like search city. I just got search on mine, but search city sounds better. And that should be it for now. We still have to send over the state and all that and add the on clicks and everything. But I'm just trying to get all the styling completed. So we're going to do a class name on the div that's holding our search icon, and we're going to do a margin left. This might got to change because like I said, I used a whole different icon. So we're going to do a margin left of -25 pixels, like that. And we're going to do a text. I don't think this is going to work with this. We got to, yeah, this, forgot we're using React icons, so you have to change the color within that, I believe. So a text white and a cursor pointer. Let's see if that works. All right. Maybe it did work. Yeah, I think it did. All right. So let's see if we see it. Yeah, I see it is in there. This camera. Yeah, I see it. All right. So let's start styling the input itself. Let's add a class name to this. We're gonna do a class name of with full, and we're gonna do a BG transparent. Now we should be able to see our icon again. There we go. Nice. There's our icon. That looks so much better than the one I got. The BG transparent. We're gonna do a border bottom of 2. And we should see like a nice border at the bottom. Looks like an underline. And we're going to do a placeholder white. That's going to change the name of our placeholder. So placeholder white. There we go. And we're going to do an outline none. And a text of white. Text white. So now whenever we type, our text will be white. That looks great. That looks really good. Alright, so now I think we're done in this for now. We have to come back and add, you know, our state and all that stuff to this. But for now, I believe we're good. I want to go ahead and add the order thing in, and then I'll explain it in a few. This basically just changes the order of the whole thing whenever we change viewports. So right now, by default, it'll be order 2, so it'll be at the bottom. So as you can see, like it changed to order 2, but I want it to be order 2 only on mobile. So for medium and up, I want it to be order 1. So it should switch back over to there, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's because we didn't change the order in this one yet. So let's keep it like this for now. Let's go over back to our page. Let me go over page on this. And we're gonna start styling our H1 now. So let's go ahead and start styling this. This should be pretty fast. Let's do a class name of, so we're gonna do a margin bottom of 8 on mobile, and then for desktop we're gonna do a margin bottom of 0. I don't want any margin bottom. And then we're going to do the order of 1 by default. And then we're going to do text white, a PY of 2. So PY is basically padding top and bottom. So Y is the Y axis. And then a PX is, I think we still have to add PX. So PX4, PX is the X axis. So that would be, you know, left and right. And then we're going to do a rounded XL. And you scroll over on this. And I believe that's it. Maybe, I think I have to add a font in here as well. I don't think, let's do italic. And we're gonna do a font bold. Okay. And I might go ahead and change the font size. I mean, change the font. I forgot which font that I use. So let me go and check right quick. Do a font that I use for this. Let's see. Go to layout. Okay, so I use Poppins. So this is a good way to show you guys how to install fonts on NextJs 13. So to install a font on this, is actually everything is built in, so we don't even have to go to Google Fonts. So as you can see, they have this one already installed for us. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that, and we're gonna go ahead and just do import. We're gonna do Poppins. Gotta be uppercase. Poppins, and we're gonna do from next slash font slash Google. Alright, so we imported our font there, and now what we have to do is we can get rid of this there, and for our metadata we can actually fix this up right quick as well. So what this is basically just, you can see on the browser it says create React app, create next app. So we can actually just change this to React weather app, and essentially that should change that. Let's see. Okay, we got some. Let's go ahead and finish our font, and then I'll show you that it changed. So we're going to do a const Poppins, and this is going to equals to Poppins with the curly brackets inside, and we're going to do subsets. And if you got it should, I don't know if this TypeScript doing this, but it should auto show like what's available. So these are all the subsets that's available. So we're gonna do Latin. You gotta be in quotes like that. We're gonna do a comma, and then we're gonna do a weight. So this is like the font weight, and it should show like everything. So we're gonna do 400. It gotta be in 400. We're gonna do 500 and 700. 500 and 700. All right, and then we're gonna do one more comma, and then we're gonna do a style. So this is gonna give us you know, the italic and normal. So we're gonna do normal. And we're gonna do italic. All right, so that's our, oh, I spelled normal wrong. So that's our font, and now all we got to do down here is just change this to Poppins, and that should fix everything. Let's see, and we should also see React weather app up here now. See, yep, React weather app, and we got our logo there. All right, perfect. All right, so let's go back to our page. We shouldn't need to do anything inside our layout anymore for the rest of this tutorial. Let me close out a layout over here, and let's go back to our page. Okay, so Make sure everything. All right, perfect. So we got HFit. Let's change this back to HFit before I forget. We're gonna do HFit. Make sure you guys change that. All right, so now we about to start. I don't know how we're gonna do this. So, so yeah, it's gonna look weird because I put HFit, but it's gonna look better once we start adding more content, because of that it's just basically just filling up the content, trying to fit with the content. All right, so I say we go head over to the weather API app and go ahead and get our URL and all that stuff and start fetching data, and then start getting the functionality of everything working. And then, you know, yeah, let's I say we do that. Let's go over to our weather API. So I'm using, I believe it's this one. So for weatherapi.com. I'm gonna link this in the description. And what you'll do, I'm gonna do everything fresh. So we're gonna go ahead and sign up together and everything, so you guys can see how everything works. So let me see what email I'm signed in as. Let's go to Gmail. See if I'm even signed into one. Accounts. So I'm not even signed into a Gmail. Let's do let's see what Gmail I didn't use. Let's do built already. Built already. One at gmail.com. Alright, I want to sign in this email right quick. Alright. Not now. Okay. So go to Gmail. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and use, I'm gonna go ahead and use that Gmail. So built already one at gmail.com. Copy that, paste that, confirm password. So yeah, you guys can skip this if you want and just go ahead and create an account right quick, because I believe you got to confirm it and everything as well. All right, so we go over to Gmail and we got to confirm this. Why is it not going? All right, come on, Google, come on. Okay, turn that up. Now our email is confirmed. Go ahead and log in. Our username is our email, so built already one at gmail.com. Did I already forget the password? Really, bro? Oh, forgot the app. Okay, there we go. Okay, so once you logged in, you get to this screen. So essentially, you do not want anybody looking at the API key, but this is just practice. I'm gonna most likely delete this account. So to fix that, what you want to do is go ahead and inside of your weather app, like I forgot what it's called, outside of your app folder, you want to create a folder, not a folder, create a file, and it's going to be .env. So I believe it's in your root directory. So in here, we're going to just do we're going to do React app weather. Oh, it's got to be underscore, I believe. React app weather API key, and we're going to equal that to our API key, like that. Oh, not that. Like that. And I believe it got to be in quotes if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. So once you do that, let me just make sure That's right. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I guess we can keep it like this. So React app API key. All right. So you want to go over, so whenever you upload it to GitHub or anything, this will upload to GitHub. So to prevent that, you want to go down to, I believe it's git ignore, and you just want to, anywhere in here, you could just add it, but I'm just going to add it down here. Let's see, right here to the local env files. You want to just do .env. So this is going to prevent it from uploading to GitHub whenever you push your code. And you should see it gray out once you save. So once you save, you should see it gray out. So it grays out, so that means it's not going to get uploaded. All right, so we got our API key, React app weather API key. I'm just going to copy that as we're going to need it. And over to our page, we're going to import some state and start fetching the data and stuff like that. So time to get more technical. So this is going to be a lot. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and import use state from React. And inside of our function, we're going to go ahead and do a const data and a set data. And after this, I'm actually going to show you guys like all the data we get and everything right quick. So I'm going to do a use state, and for the initial value, it's going to be an empty object. This is where we're going to push all our data from the API in. So we're going to do a const data and then set data. And before I finish, I actually want to show you guys what everything, all the stuff, cool things we get with this. So you go down to API Explorer, and you actually, let me go back. Make sure you copy your API key because we're going to need it right quick. Go to API Explorer, and we're going to go ahead and paste our API key in there. And you keep everything the same: protocol, HTTP, format, JSON. You could change the value of this if you want. I normally just change it to Raleigh. That's where I'm from. You change it to Raleigh or a city that you're currently in, and go over to forecast. And then for days, I do 7 because we're going to be a full 7 days. For air quality, I'm going to say yes. And alerts, I just say yes. I just say yes for it all. So now you see we get all of this data back. So Raleigh, North Carolina, we get the name, the region. We get the current weather. We'll be using mostly everything in there. We get, you know, the humidity for the day. We get air quality. We get the forecast. So this right here, this array, forecast day, is each day it shows, you know, when it's gonna be sunrise, sunset. It literally shows everything, and all of this is like actual weather data that you can that's like real weather data. Is crazy, pretty cool. So that's what we get. So now let's go ahead and finish our fetch to this API. So we're going to do a const location and a set location. This is going to equal to a use state. It's going to be, the initial value is going to be empty quotations. And then we're going to do a const error. This is going to be for our errors that we get just in case the data don't get fetched or something happens. I'll do a set error, and this is going to equal a use state, and this is also going to be a quote empty quotations. So we got our state set, and this is all the state that we'll be using. So now let's go ahead and do a const URL, and this is going to equal to our URL here. Let's see, I believe it's this here. Copy this URL. We're going to paste that there, but it has to be in quotations. All right, so now we actually had to switch some of this stuff up. So instead of Raleigh in days, remove Raleigh. Actually, scratch everything I just said. So go ahead and remove this, and we're gonna do backticks because we need the it needs to be backticks. So make sure. So okay, there we go. So it's backticks, and instead of Raleigh, we're gonna change this. We're gonna do the $, and we're gonna do brackets, and this is gonna be location. Okay, and then instead of our key here, our API key just sitting right there, we're also gonna do rotations, I believe. Let me make sure. Let me go back to there. Let's make sure, see how I did this. Scroll down the weather app. I didn't do this one in my new one. I just went ahead and uploaded SRC app. Okay. Yep. So I was doing it right. So we'll do a where I'm at. Let me just back. There we go. So you want to remove all of this. Don't remove the and Q part. Just remove the number. And we're going to do a $, and brackets again. And then in here, we're going to do a process dot env dot, and we can just go over and grab our env and just copy that in like that, and go back to our page and do dot that. Okay, so there we go. So now we got our API key there, and nobody can see it once we upload it to GitHub. All right, so we got that part. So that part's done. So now we're gonna be fetching that data. So this is the more technical side of things. So we're gonna do a const, and we'll be using async await here. We'll do a handle search, and let me actually go back. Let me exit out of that. All right, so we're doing handle search, and this is going to be an async function. All right, cool. And we have to do an event for the parameter, and we're going to do if e.key triple equals to enter. We're gonna do a e dot prevent default. So this is gonna prevent it from refreshing the page every time we search. So prevent default. And then this is where we're gonna go ahead and fetch our data. So we're gonna do a try catch. We're gonna do a try. We're gonna do a const response equals await fetch, and we're gonna be fetching our URL there, and then we're gonna do a const. Actually, no const there. We're gonna do a if the response is not okay. Response.okay. Response is not okay. We're gonna throw a new error. Okay. All right, so there we go with that. And then there's a little trick that I'm about to do. I figured this out myself. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna show you guys once everything is done. So normally when I believe when you say throw new error, you actually have to put a string in here. You can put text like that. But there's like a little cool way I did things to make it better, in my opinion. So throw new error, and then underneath here we're gonna do a const data, and this is gonna equal to await response. Next, we're going to turn our data into JSON, response.json. And now we're going to do a set data. So we're going to take all our states here and start setting everything. So we're setting our data to data. And then we're going to set location to an empty string, because once we search, we want the data, we want the location to be an empty string. And then we're going to set error to an empty string as well. But this is once everything is okay. So if it's not okay, so we're trying, we're going to fetch the data. If the response isn't okay, it's going to throw an error. But if it is okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our data into JSON, and we're setting our data to our data to the weather app data, and then setting our locations and errors back to the default state. So that's that, and it's going to just bring this up like this. All right, so since we're using try, we have to make sure we do a catch. So try that, and now we're catching an error just in case. So, and now we're going to do a set error. So we're setting our errors now to city not found, and we're setting our data back to the default. All right, so there we go. That's everything that we need for our async function here. Don't know why this isn't working. Oh, that's why. All right, there we go. And we do have a TypeScript error, which we're going to fix. We can actually just fix that right now. So to fix that, we have to, there's multiple ways you can do it. But this is the way that I found. We're gonna go ahead and import React from React. I know this is like kind of old. We're gonna go ahead and do import React from React with a comma. Wait, how does it do an input? All right, there we go. And for our type here, we're going to do React dot keyboard event, and we're gonna do HTML input element. Should autocomplete, and I should get rid of that error. There we go. No TypeScript errors. I'm getting a little better with this TypeScript stuff. I literally learned TypeScript is something that you can learn as you go. It's nothing where you have to spend a whole 6 months learning. You literally add it to your project and just try to figure out the errors, and you'll start getting it. So that's that. So we're fetching our data here. We got all our state and everything good. So now let's go ahead and try to render out some stuff. So first thing we need to do, so let's actually test to make sure everything is working fine before we move forward. So first thing we need to do, inside our input, let's go ahead and pass down some state. So we're going to go ahead and pass down handle search. My phone was ringing again. Go ahead and pass down handle search. Handle search equals handle search. And we're also going to pass down set location. Set location equals set location. All right, cool. I believe that's everything that we need only for the input. So let's go over to our input, and where are we at? So input.tsx. Let me open that back up over here, and let's go ahead and destructure our props in here. So we're going to do handle search, and we're going to do set location, and we will get an error, TypeScript error, which we can also fix right now. Might as well fix as we go. So to fix those two errors, you got to do an interface and input props, and now we just gotta define what type of props these are. So we're gonna do handle search first, So handle search. And what this is an event, and React, the same thing, the React.keyboard thing. So I think we have to import React maybe as well. React.keyboard event, and I believe it's HTML input element. Where you at? There we go. Okay, so we got that one, and just to make sure that it's working, we could just go ahead and just do that, and then input props. All right, so we got that one, and now the set location. This one is going to be a React dispatch. React set state. This is literally everything that I had to figure out. I don't know what half of this stuff means. Like, I don't know what this means right here. So like React state action and then string like that, and then we get another one for that, and I believe that's it. So React.dispatch, React.set state action string. Okay. Do this need a comma maybe? Oh, okay, so this one actually needs a void like that. That needs that. So there we go. All right, so that should fix the errors. This took me a while to figure out. I did a lot of research, and this is what Stack Overflow gave me. I'm not that smart, so I literally did a lot of research on how to fix these errors, and this is what it gave me. So yeah. So I don't know if this is right, but it took away the error, so apparently it's right, I think. So all right, so handle search and set location. All right, so now let's go ahead and we can use our props. So first thing we're going to do is underneath this class name, we're going to add an on key down, and this is going to be our handle search. So every time we press enter, our async function is going to fire, and then on change, we're going to do a arrow function with the event handler, and we're going to do set location to e.target.value. Okay. All right, so that's that, and let's make sure our app is actually still on. Right. All right, so looks like we're good. Nothing should happen right now. All right, so now let's actually see if we can render out some stuff on the screen and see if everything's working right. So I'm just gonna do another quick look at this to make sure we got everything. Let's go over to input and make sure everything is good on here. I believe this is actually everything we need to do on this page, so we probably can just get rid of go ahead and exit out of this. I just want to make sure. All right, so we can go ahead and close out our input, and let's go back to our page. We could close out a layout as well. I don't know why that's still open. All right, so we're just gonna test some stuff out. So for div, let's go right underneath this h1, and we're gonna do a how are we gonna test this out? Let's go over to here, and we could just do something like, let's go back to our data. So let's try to grab the current temp for today in Fahrenheit. So what we have to do that is we'll do brackets, and we'll do a data dot current question mark, and I'm going to show you why we have to do it this way. So data dot current, and then So if it's data.current, we're going to render out, we got to do our parentheses because we'll be using JSX, and I believe we have to do that, right? Make sure. But so we'll do a div in here, div. I don't know why it's not auto completing. Maybe we don't have to do that. Let's see without it. All right. So maybe we do. All right, so data.current, and then we're gonna do a div, and in here we're just gonna do data.current, and we're gonna do data.current.temp underscore f. Temp underscore f. All right, and let's go ahead and close out our div. That, and then else. So right after our parentheses, we're gonna do an else of null. So if that works, which I'm hoping it does, we should see. Let's type in Raleigh. Maybe not. All right. Let's see what we did wrong here. Let's refresh. Maybe I gotta restart my server. I mean, restart my app. All right, so data.current. Let's go over there and open that up. That component current. Okay. Let's see what I did wrong here. So it looks like I did everything right. We are gonna need to set prop. We also gonna need to set like the props and everything for this. The types for everything, which is annoying. I'm not gonna lie, but it should be working. I don't know why it's not working. Probably. Oh, we could just probably look at the console. Idiot. Such an idiot. Such an idiot. Okay, failed to load. Console. Okay, so there's something wrong with our API. Yeah, something wrong with our API. That's why it's doing that. So let's go ahead and see what's wrong. I probably there's something wrong. Let's see. Process.env. Let's see what I did wrong here. Go there. Other app. Trying to make sure I did everything right. Let's see. Okay. So let's remove this weather part there. I don't know if this matters, but let's do React app API key, right? And essentially that's what I have. Let's go over to .env and change it here. Okay. Raleigh. Okay, so yeah, there's something going on with the server. Are we using the right API key? Should be using the right one. Just make sure. Public src. Oh, okay. It's a little weird. I'm about to try and maybe just putting in an API key without that, and let's see if that works. So Let me go over and grab my API key and just paste it right there and just see if that works. Raleigh. Okay. So that's so weird. I wonder why that's happening. So when I do that, it works, but when I do the process.env, it's not working. I wonder what I did wrong. JSON process.env. Let me go back and see what I have. Process.env React. This is exactly what I have. All right, well, that sucks. I mean, do the .env file has to be maybe inside of our app component? Let's see. Refresh that. Okay, React app equals that. Oh, okay, that's a little weird, but let me know if it works for you guys. But this is how you do it. I don't know why it's not working now for some reason. React app API key. Now let's go over back to our layout. I mean our page and process.env. This is so weird. Key equals that process.env React app API key. It's something that I'm missing. Hold on. React app API key. This is exactly what I have. Maybe I have to use the env.local. Let's see if that works. Let's do .env.local, I believe. .local. I believe it's this. And now let's copy this over here like that. And I don't think that works. env.local. Yeah, it's not working. Maybe I gotta remove it from here. Yeah, it's not working. I'm confused. We can remove this env.local now. All right. That sucks. That really do suck. I'm gonna come back to that, but for now, let's go ahead and paste it. Paste our API key inside. I'm gonna save that for then and just go back over it and make sure. Go ahead and just paste our API key in for now. So with that, we should be able to see render our weather data. So as you can see, 72 right now in Raleigh. Let's look up Albany, New York. Oh, I spelled Albany wrong. Albany. Now 66.9. All right, so essentially we're finished with the top, the nav bar. It's nice and responsive. Now let's start working on the current weather, which is going to be here, and the 7-day forecast, which is going to be over there. So we're going to need to make some more components. So let's go ahead and make our current weather component. Let me go ahead and open that up right quick. All right. Components. All right, we're gonna do a current.tsx. current.tsx, and we're going to do a weather details. Just going to show the details underneath. Weather details.tsx, and we're going to need a week forecast.tsx. .tsx. All right, cool. So we're gonna start off with our current one. Let's do current RAFE. All right. So before we actually work on this, I want to show you guys a little trick that I did using object.keys. And if you guys don't know what object.keys is, there is some documentation on it. Because if I explain it to you guys, I don't know if you guys could tell the whole video. I suck at explaining things. But object.keys, and there's documentation on it. So it says here it returns an array of a given object's own enumerable string key property names. I suck at reading as well. So let's see what it does. So here we have a const object equals object, and they did an object dot keys on that object, and it returns an array of ABC. So it does exactly what this does. It also does a lot more, so there's a ton of documentation on it. But so I did that on this, and this is the first time I ever really seen anybody using object.keys. So kind of feel proud of myself for using this. So let's go over to page, and down here, this is where we're going to use it at. All right, so let me go ahead and open that up. And first thing we have to do is we need to let content. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that and just leave that just sitting right there. And so we're going to do an if object dot keys and we're going to put the data inside there, and then we're going to do a dot length. So we're checking to see the length of our data, and if this triple equals to 0 and error triple equals to an empty string, we're going to let the content equal to I'm going to do a div, and for now we'll just do a we'll style this later. We'll just do maybe like a h2 of welcome to the weather app, and then we'll just style that later. So I'm going to show you guys what this does. So we did that, and now underneath here, we can remove this. Underneath the h1, I think we actually going to want another div actually. Let me make sure. So h1, and we did this div there, and so it's underneath the h1 div, we're gonna do this content. All right, and I'm going to show you guys what this does. So let's go ahead and refresh, and we should see our content there. So there we go. Welcome to weather app. So this is going to be like our main page. So if the data length is 0 and if error is an empty string, this is going to be our default. This is going to be our content. Okay. And now we're going to do a else if, and we're going to do if error is not an empty string, we're going to make our content equals that. Our content, and we'll style this later. I just want to show you guys. So our content is going to be city. Let's do a p tag, city not found, and we can just do another p tag of enter a valid city. Valid city. Oh my god, suck at typing. All right. So this is what I was talking about, how I didn't put it up here inside the error. So now let's go ahead and just type in some gibberish and we should see our error. So city not found, enter valid city. So again, so if the data length is 0 and the error is an empty string, our default will be this welcome. And then if error is not an empty string, we're going to render this out as the content. And now we actually need to render out our actual content whenever we search. So I'm gonna do else, and we're just gonna do a content, and this is gonna equal to a div for now. And then inside this div, we're gonna do our components that we just made. So I'm not gonna put them in because we're just gonna get an error, but we can go ahead and import them now. So before we do that, we actually have to go to each one and do a RAFE. Let's do a RAFE. And now let's go back to our page and go ahead and import our components. So we're going to do import current from there. And we're going to import week forecast. And we're going to import weather details. All right, perfect. And now for our content here, we're going to have a div and we're going to do our current data first. Dude, why is my keyboard not working? Oh my god. Current data. And then we're gonna have our week forecast. I don't know why I'm not getting error. Oh, I just got current. I put current data, really. Alright, so our current and week forecast. So let's see if it shows up. So Raleigh, we shouldn't see any data, but we should see. But we see current and week forecast. Nice. All right. So that's going to be in its own div, and then our weather details is going to be at the bottom, and that's going to be in its own div as well. Div, and this is going to be weather details. Weather details. All right. Did I do this right? Oh, we gotta put the fragment thing. Only way this is gonna work. Like that. Perfect. Actually, we should see weather details now. There we go. So again, let's make sure your app is working like this for now. So when you refresh, it should show welcome to weather app. And whenever you type in some gibberish, it should show the error. And whenever you type in the actual city, it should just show current, week forecast, and weather details. Quick record check, make sure everything is recording right. All right. So now let's start styling our current weather data. But before I do that, I actually want to go ahead and pass down our data into this component. So we're going to do a data, and we're going to do a data like that. And let's go start off with this one and just structure our data inside here like that. And we actually going to need to do types for all of this stuff, but we'll just save that for the end after we actually write the code. So we're going to go ahead and start rendering out some things. Going to bring that down like that. And All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a div, and let's go ahead and give this a class name of flex col, a margin bottom of 8, and on medium viewports and up, I want a margin bottom of 0, and we're going to do an items start and a gap of 2 and a width of 1/2, which is width 50%, and that's that for that. And inside of this div, we're going to have another div, and this is going to have a class name of flex and item center. Okay. And inside this div, divs inside of divs. Inside this div, we're gonna have another div. Actually, yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and put it on. Do a div inside of this, and this is gonna be our H1. And this is gonna have just the words today on it. And I'm gonna have a P tag, and this is gonna have our current date. Okay, and you guys are like, what the hell is current date? We got to go make it. So that's why I had you guys make this utils, because inside of this utils, we're gonna make a current date function that grabs the current date of the local storage on your computer or something like that. So wherever so if somebody's using our app, you know, in Paris, it shows the date for Paris. So stuff, I don't know how to explain it. So so inside the utils, let's go in here, and we're gonna do a current date.tsx. Current date.tsx. All right, so let's go ahead and just write this function right quick. Let's do an export const get current dates, and this is going to equal arrow function. All right, and we're gonna do a const current date, and this is going to equal new date dot to local storage. It should have autocomplete, and then we're going to do in parentheses, we'll do en-us with a comma, and this is going to be our object of how we want it. So we can do weekday, we can make it long, we're going to do year, I'm going to make it we can either do 2-digit or numeric. We're going to do month. We're going to do long for this as well. And we're going to do day numeric. And then after all of that, we're going to return our current date. And that's it. Now you got a current date function that grabs the current date. Okay, so let me exit out some of this stuff. So we can exit out that. So for the current date, you can just go ahead and exit out. And we have to go ahead and import it inside of our currents for it to work. Let's go ahead and import current date, get current date. Hold on. Make sure I did this right. Okay. All right. So for this to work, you could either do it like this, but this is the way I did it. I did a const current date, and this is going to equal get current date function like that. So now we should see the date. So let's search up Raleigh, and you should see the date, Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. Nice. All right, so that's that. And now let's grab, let's see what else we can do. Class name, let's add some styling to it, I guess. So for the H1, we can do a class name of X3XL and a text white for now. All right, nice. And for the P, we're just gonna change it to text white. All right. We could have put it here on the parent element and change the entire thing, but leave it like that for now. All right, so now this is where we're about to start grabbing some data and making things work. So first thing I want to do is I want to grab this weather icon. So let's go back to the data, make sure. So down here, if you look at, so it's right here, this weather icon. So this is going to be show, you know, a sun, a cloud. So I'm going to grab this weather icon. So what I need to do with that, I'm going to make a const up here. I'm going to do a const. And we're going to do weather icon. And this is going to be a data.current. And question mark, and then do data dot current dot condition. I'm going to explain this in a second. Dot condition dot icon, and then else is going to be null. All right, so we grabbed the icon. So what this is, so data dot current, so we got our data, so the whole thing is our data. So data dot current, which is right here, and then we did a dot condition, which is here, so dot condition dot icon. And I don't think I explained to you why we had to do it like this. So if we don't do it like this, with the ternary operator like this, it's going to stay rendered out on the page. Let me show you guys. Let me see if this works. Let's see. I think it's going to stay rendered out. Let's see. So let's do a P. Actually, no. Let's just do a div, and in here we're just going to do a weather icon like that. Okay. Oh, we got to put it in the image thing anyway. That's why it did that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and refresh. And instead of that, I'm going to just have it like that. Let's see, move. No. Okay, so it works without it. Nice. Okay, so that changes a lot. We don't really need the and I know why it's because I used the object.keys. So we don't even need to add the data.current like this ternary operator. It's because I'm using the object.keys to prevent from having to use that. But yeah, we don't even need that. We could just keep it just like that. Nice. So that's actually going to switch up a lot of this code and make it smaller. All right, but I just want to make sure that that's correct. Let's put an error. Yeah, so yeah, that's crazy. Yep. All right, cool. And let's refresh. Yeah. All right, so we don't need to do it like that. Nice. That's cool. All right, so let me see how long we got. All right, so yeah, this is gonna be a long tutorial. We still got quite a bit to do, so I'm gonna try to hurry up a little bit. So we got our current data, we got that. Div. Right underneath this div, we're gonna do brackets. We're gonna do weather icon, and we're gonna do and we're gonna render out a div with our image. Go to image, and the source is going to be weather icon, and the alt can just be weather icon, or I could just do the alt as let's see what it is. The alt could just be the condition, so we could do data dot current dot condition dot text. So data dot current dot condition dot text. All right, and now we should see our icon when we search. So let's go to Raleigh, and there we go. We got our icon. Nice. All right, and so after that, after these brackets, after this closing div there, we're gonna have another div, and we're gonna have a P. This is actually gonna be a little confusing because now I don't have to render it out the way that I thought I did. So I'm gonna do a data dot current dot temp underscore F. So we grabbed this at first. This is just the current temperature in Fahrenheit. And so after the dot F, I mean a temp underscore F, we're gonna add a to fixed. So what this does is round out the number to the nearest tenth, or the nearest let's look it up. I suck at explaining things. Fuck. To fix JavaScript. It's like it rounds out the number. So you got like 123.46, it'll round it out to 124, I believe, or some shit like that. So just so you won't have decimals, basically. All right, so let's close this, and we should be able to see it. See our temperature now. Let's close, refresh, let that load, and let's go ahead and search up our city, Raleigh. And yep, we got our temperature 73. Nice. All right, and underneath this p tag, actually still inside the p tag, I'm gonna have a span, and I'm about to just grab it from here, but it's like the little Fahrenheit thingy, the little circle. I'm gonna show you. Maybe I could just search it up. That little circle there. I don't know how to get that. I forgot what I did for it. Temperature circle thingy. Temperature circle. There we go. Right here. So just copy that, the temperature degree symbol. There you go. All right. So let's save that, and we should be able to see our temperature there. Saved it. All right. So let's start styling this p tag a little bit, and I'm gonna do a class name of text 5XL. 5XL, and a text of white. All right, nice. And let's take a look. So now we got a nice big thing there. That span looks a little bit too big, right? I'll leave it like that, I guess. Maybe I could just let's see if I could change the class name of this to like text 3XL. See what happens. Yeah, that's gonna mess it up. We'll keep it like this for now. All right, so we got our flex. Everything was good here. We got our flex items, nice. And for the image, we're actually going to have a class name on this as well. I'm going to add some styling to this. I'm going to do a width of 50 pixels. So I'm going to do a box there, 50 pixels. And we're going to do an object cover. I don't think that matters with little icons like that, but I just add it anyway. object cover. All right. Okay, so underneath this p tag, I'm gonna render out some more stuff. So underneath there, I'm going to do a span, and this is going to be data dot current dot condition dot text. The same thing we put here, just the text. So it's overcast. This is so confusing now that I don't have to render it out. So I'm literally like doing all this on the fly right now, guys. It's crazy. But I don't want to show you guys the wrong way. So if this way works, I'm just gonna keep it like this. Apparently it is. So whenever we refresh, we got our weather, and go to type in Raleigh, and we have our data there. So it's working pretty good, and it's all because I used the object keys in the front page. It's definitely that. So all right, so let's do a class name of, for this condition text, we're just gonna do a text white. Okay, so underneath this span here, we're going to add a div. Actually, it's going to be underneath this div here. Underneath this div. So we got another div outside of there. And we're going to do a div inside here. Why am I getting this error? It's so confusing now. I don't have to render stuff out like this. Let's go back. If I would have known that, I would have fixed all my code, but now I'm looking at code that I can't even really use because... Alright, so let me just make sure everything's right, guys. So we got our weather, we got a div with our image in there. Under that, we have this. Okay, so this has to go in a div. The p tag and the condition. We're gonna put a div here, and it should be right here. Okay, there we go. All right, and that div don't need any styling. That's good. And then we need underneath this one, we need another div, and then div inside this one. And this one is going to have a class name of flex item center, text black, a BG of white /90, a PX of 2, which is padding left and right, a PY, which is padding top and bottom, PY of 2, and a rounded XL. Okay. All right, and then in here we're gonna have, we gotta go back to React icons and grab a location icon. So let's go React icons and location, and we're gonna grab this one. I like this one. ID location sharp. All right, import it up here. Import I was IO from React icons /IO. All right, nice. All right, so in this div, we're going to go ahead and render out our icon. IO location sharp. All right, so we should be able to see it. See if we see it. Okay. Wait, what? Alright, let's use another one. Let's use this one as MD. MD. MD equation. Alright, let's see what that works. Okay. Whew, you guys don't need a break? I need a break. Take a little break here soon. Alright, Raleigh. Alright, there goes our icon. Nice. Alright, so we're going to, in this one, we're going to have a span. And in this span, we're going to have our data dot location dot name with a comma, and we're going to have our data dot location dot region. Okay, and we should see it pop up. Really? Why are you undefined? Probably. Huh. So I think this is where I have to use that little trick that I said we had to do. So let's go ahead to our flex, our div, put brackets on it, and then we're going to do a data location with a question mark, and it's going to return all of that. Let's go ahead and close it out here, and we're just going to do null, and let's see if that works. Come on, baby. Let's see. Raleigh. Nope, didn't work. Huh. Data dot low. Oh, I spelled location wrong. That's why. Oh my god. We probably don't need to do all of this. Remove this. Remove everything. Remove all of that. There we go. Alright. Now we should be able to see it. Raleigh, and there we go. We got our location name there. Nice. All right, so that's everything we got to do down here. And yeah, this box looking really good. I think this is everything we need to do in here. We do have to do our props to get rid of this TypeScript error, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to do an interface. Actually, I'm not going to type it all. I'm just going to copy it from here and just explain to you guys what it is. So right here, so we gotta do all our props here. This is what TypeScript does. You have to do this. So you know, we got our data and we got our current with the question mark and our condition. So we're using icon, which is a string. We're using the icon text, which is not the icon text, the condition text, which is a string. Our temperature in Fahrenheit is a number, and our location and region that we're using in this component is a string. So let's go ahead and put this on our prop. So current props, and that should get rid of that. So I think, hold on. Oh, ooh. We switched up everything. We gotta get rid of that. And we gotta get rid of the location thing. Because we're not using the thing that I had, the ternary operator that I was doing on mine. We don't have to use that because I'm using keys to render out all the content. So let me just make sure this still works. Go to refresh. We should see a welcome page. Let's put in a little error. We should see city not found. And let's go to type in Raleigh, and we should see Raleigh. Nice. All right, make sure everything's still recording. Okay, so this page is done, I believe. Everything looks good. So we can go ahead and exit out of that. And now it's time to work on the week forecast. Let's go over to here. And let me go ahead and open up over here. Okay. So this one should be the same. This one shouldn't be too much. Before we do that, we do have to pass the data in this one as well. So we gotta do data equals data like that. And I wonder why I'm getting an error there. Okay. Oh, I got an error there for some reason. All right. So let's go over to our week forecast and go ahead and just structure our data in here like that. Okay, so now we're gonna add some JSX. We're gonna do a div. Let me go ahead and extend this over a little bit. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna do a div, and we're actually using grid in this one. So we're gonna do a class name of grid and a grid calls of 2. I'm gonna go sm grid calls of 2. I'm gonna go MD. So this is just making a responsive grid. So MD grid call, grid calls of 4, and we're gonna do an LG and up. So this is large viewport. We're doing grid calls of 7, and we're gonna give it a gap of 8 and a width of full. Okay. All right. So just to explain this right quick, so we got our grid, the medium, the mobile is going to be grid calls 2, so it's going to be 2 columns. Small, still going to be grid calls 2. Medium is going to be grid calls 3. I probably could just remove this actually. I don't think I need that. Grid calls 3, so it's going to be 3 columns, and large is going to jump up to 7 columns. So, okay, so in here we got our data. This is going to be really easy. So we're just going to do a we're going to map through it. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a data dot forecast. I'm going to show you guys where this at on the data. So forecast. So data dot forecast day. Forecast day. Let's go look at this right quick. So forecast day, I showed you guys this earlier. So it is just an array of just different days. So we're about to map through that whole entire array. So forecast day dot map, and we got to do day, and we also got to do an index, and we got to do our arrow function. Sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. Okay, so in here we're gonna have a div, and we gotta make sure we put our key. We can just make this the index, and we do a class name of bg white, about 40. So that's just the opacity. P of pattern of 2, a text center, rounded LG, flex call, and item center. Okay. But we shouldn't see anything. I don't think. We don't have any content inside the boxes. Okay, so we do. So you see the boxes there. Nice. All right, so now we're going to actually add our content. So for the P, we're going to do a P tag, and in here we're going to do new date, and we're going to do a day dot date. Close that up, and we're going to do a to local local date string, to local string, and in here we're gonna have en dash us, and then comma, and we're just gonna do one object in here. We're just gonna do a weekday, and it's just gonna be short. So it's gonna give us like Tuesday, it'll be just TUES, Wednesday WED. That's all we're gonna have here. Wednesday short. There we go. A weekday short. Okay. And it didn't close any of my shit. Wow. Okay, so that and then that. Close that up. I wonder why this isn't working. Giving me an error. So new date, day.date, to local string, ENUS, weekday, and this is just short. Probably should just be undercase like that. All right, so now let's see if we see our date there. Should just say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There we go. Nice. All right. So underneath this P tag, we're gonna have an image. This is gonna be our icons, and we're going to just, the source is just gonna be a day dot condition dot icon. Let's see if we see the icons. Nice, we see the icons. Nice. And the alt can just be this here, but just the text. Let's go ahead and just copy that, put that there, and we'll set an icon and just be text. All right, so we got our image, and now underneath that we're gonna do a div, and we're gonna have two P elements. So the first one is just gonna be, we're gonna have the letter H, so this is gonna be the high, and we're gonna have day max temp underscore F, and we're going to use that to fix thing I showed you guys earlier to round it out, get rid of the decimal. To fix, and now save that. We should see our temperatures there, and we also need that little circle thing, so let's look that up right quick. Degree symbol right here. Let's do degree symbol, copy, and we're gonna have it right after that. Let's see if that looks, yep, perfect. And now what we can do is just copy this and just paste it down below like that. And instead of max temp, we're gonna grab the min temp, I believe. Yep, min temp. And we also gotta change it from H to L below. Nice, that looks good. All right, so I believe we're done in here. We just have to do our prop types. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and copy it from over here, because I don't know if you guys use Typescript or not. It's not needed, but I'm trying to get better with it, and this is how I fix these. fix these errors. So we're gonna do data, and we're just gonna equal it to day forecast, and that should get rid of the errors. Actually no, sorry, we gotta equal it to week forecast props. Okay, and we also have to get rid of these question marks down because we're not using we're not doing a ternary operator thing. All right, so we can remove this import React from React. And I believe this section is completed. We can go ahead and get rid of this. I mean, exit out of there. And let's go take a look at our data. I just want to go over a few things to show you guys, you know, what we grabbed and everything. So normally it'll be data.day.maxTemp, but since we're inside our map method, I had to use day.day. This could be anything. We could have named it weather, so it would have been weather.day. And like I said, the forecast day is just an array, so we're just mapping through it, and we're grabbing the max temp, the min temp, we're grabbing the condition, which is here, we're grabbing the text, and we're grabbing the icon, and I believe that's everything we're grabbing. And the date is coming from our local storage. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nice. Let's go over to our page, and we're going to start styling this section up right quick, doing our little flex box and everything. All right, let's go. Sorry. There. Move that over. And I don't need this anymore. Okay. All right, so for this div here, we're gonna do a class name, flex, and we're gonna do an MD flex row, and the initial value is gonna be a flex col. So on mobile, it's gonna be flex col column, P12, and then an item center, and a justify between. Okay, let's take a look. Hopefully it looks good. Come on, there we go. Looks nice. So now it's nice and responsive. And there we go. And as you can see, it's still, and that's the reason why, is because I have the height. Oh, I don't have a height on this. Wait. Oh, I got height screen. So I got to switch it back to height fit. And now it should fit the content. Let's see. There we go. Nice. So it's nice and responsive. Close out. There we go. Alright. So now on to the last part. We're going to do these weather details. And this one is really easy to do. There's a lot of just copy and pasting. The file size is pretty long, but once we do one, we could just basically just copy and paste the boxes and stuff and just change up the stuff inside. So we are going to need to pass down our data. Our data equals data. I gotta hurry up because I gotta go soon, so I'm taking my time though. I don't want to rush through it so you guys can get it. So for the weather details, go over to here, and what we're gonna do is we gotta go ahead and just structure our data in here. So data, and we can go ahead and get rid of that import. And so I'm gonna go ahead and make one, and then we just copy and paste it a few times. So let's do, we're gonna do a fragment. Fragment like that. All right. So I'm gonna do a div. Okay. And this is just gonna have a class name of P12. Add in 12. Line it up with all our other stuff. And in here we're gonna have a h1, and this is going to have a class name of margin bottom 4, a text of 2xl, and a text white. And it's just going to say weather details. Okay. Alright, and now this is where the copy and pasting is about to happen. Actually, after this, let me make this a little bit bigger. Alright. So, still inside this div, we're going to do another div. And we're going to have this is also going to be a grid. So we're going to do a class name of grid. And we're going to do a grid files 1. And we're going to do on small, we're going to have it grid files 2. And on medium, we're going to have grid files 3. And on large is going to be 4. Large, grid files 4. Okay, and we're going to give it a gap of 4. All right, so we got our grid in place. Now we need to put our content in, and this is where the copy and pasting is about to happen. So we're gonna have our first box is gonna be a div, and we're gonna have a class name of bg-white with 50% opacity, and we're gonna have it flex, a pattern of 4, item center, justify center, and a gap of 6, and a rounded XL. All right, so this is our box. We shouldn't see anything. I don't think we are. Let's see. No content in it. All right, so gap of 6, and now we're gonna have a div in here, and we're gonna have a class name, just 2xl, class name of just text 2xl. Okay, and we're gonna have a h3, and here is going to be the wind speed. Okay, and then underneath here we're gonna have another h3, and we're gonna have data current wind underscore mph, and we're gonna put miles per hour next to it, and let's see if that works, and I'll show you guys where mph. All right, so 12 miles per hour, and I got that from here. So we go over to, so it's data dot current dot, where is it, wind miles per hour 11.9, and it must have changed. We had this open for like 2 hours, but so yeah, this is the wind miles per hour. We also get access to kilometers as well. So that's that. And so we're still working on our first box. So this is our box here, and then we just copy and paste it a few times and just change up all the data. So there's our text in there. We're gonna do one more, and this is for the icon. So we're gonna do a div, and we're gonna have a oh, this is a little trick that I found out too. This is crazy. So we're gonna do a text of 5xl, right? So we're making the div, the text inside 5xl, and what we need to do is go over to React icons. What I'm going to do is actually copy and paste all of the icons that I got, and you guys can go in and just import them like this instead of just looking for each one. So I'm using BS sunrise, BS sunset, and all of these are all in React icons. That'll just save some time from just looking for every icon that I got on here, because it's quite a bit. So let me just show you guys an example. So BS sunrise, well, you don't even gotta look up that, just type in sunrise and you'll see it here. So BS sunrise, so that's the one I'm using, and just copy and paste it in. Make sure you guys are throwing a slash, and so if you're using BS, you got to do slash BS. If you're using GI, you got to use slash GI, WI, you know, so pretty easy. So for the text, so what I found out that you can do is for the icon to make it bigger, like your own custom size. You can do the icon, so it's gonna be GI one slap here, and oh, okay, so I didn't do it for that. I thought I did. So okay, so I thought I did. So I was using material icons, and there was a little trick that I did to where I changed the font size to inherit, and what it did was inherit to this div. So if I had text 5XL, it inherited to that, but I must have changed it, because in here I guess I don't got it. I'm gonna do it just font size, and I just got 40. So I wonder, why do I need that 5XL shit? Let's see, probably okay. So let's remove this 5XL and see what happens. Probably. Oh, got that way too fast. Probably. Wait, what's going on? Okay, there we go. Okay, so we don't need that. We don't even need this. Just take that off, I guess. All right. So font size 40, and now we are literally just have to copy and paste this box a few times. So I'm gonna grab our box here, copy, and we're just gonna paste it. I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll pass it 7 more times. Paste it 7 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe it's 8 all total. And there we go. And let's make sure our grid is working fine. Our responsive grid, nice. Goes to 2 and goes down to 1. Nice. All right, perfect. Okay, so now let's just change up the data for all this stuff. So we got our first one there, and this one here is going to be humidity. So let's change this one, H3, to humidity. And instead of data.current, we'll just do data.current humidity. And make sure you're changing the little text that comes afterwards. So this one is %. And the font size is WI humidity. I mean the icon. Let's refresh and we should see that. There we go, humidity, nice. All right, and next one is wind direction. Wind direction. And we're gonna do a data.current wind dir. And this one doesn't need any text afterwards. So wind direction. And for the icon, it is GI compass. Okay. Probably. Come on, man. All right, while that's loaded, we can go to the next one. So the next one is sunrise. And that's sunrise. And this would be, so this one is actually a little bit different. So this one is going to be data.current, right? Actually, it's going to be forecast. Data.forecast. And we're going back to that array. So forecast day. Forecast day. And we're grabbing the first index of that. And we're going to do dot astro. I'm going to show you guys where this is at. Dot astro dot sunrise. And we can remove the miles per hour here. And for the icon, we are using BS sunrise. All right, so let's see. Raleigh. I didn't update yet. There we go. Sunrise. Nice. Okay, so that is here. Go down to forecast day. So we're inside the array. So we're grabbing the current day. So sunrise, and it's down here in astro. And we're grabbing the sunrise. And we're also about to grab the sunset as well. So we can actually go ahead and just copy this. And down here, put it down here. And the sunset. And just change this to sunset. And let's change this to sunset. And for the icon, I believe it's BS sunset. BS sunset. All right. Let's see if that works. Go back. Raleigh. And there we go. We got our sunset, sunrise, wind direction, humidity, and wind speed. So 3 more. We have down here wind speed. So we got air pressure next. I don't look at half of this stuff when I'm looking up weather, so this is for the people that actually look at this stuff. The data.current, and we're doing pressure dot underscore MB, and we're on after this we gotta put HEA. I don't know what that is. I just know that's like air pressure measurements or something like that. I'm gonna do MD air for the icon, and I must have skipped one. I skipped one. I guess we can just put feels like here. So this one to be feels like, and this would be data.current dot feels like underscore F, and we got to put our little degree thing. Let me go grab it. Actually, I'm gonna grab it from here. A little degree icon. That. All right, so one more. This one is visibility. Visibility. And this one will just be data.current vis underscore AM kilometers, and then we'll just put AM there. And the icon is going to be FAI. Okay. And I believe we supposed to change this one, it feels like, to CI tip high. CI tip high. And with that, everything should be done. Well, not everything, but our styling for this. Refresh. Now we gotta do our weather details. I don't know if you guys put Typescript, but I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this. And it's just basically just giving all our data types to get rid of the errors. I might have to actually change some of that. So let's get rid of the question marks, and we're going to do weather detail props, and hopefully that get rid of the errors. I think it did. Nice. All right. And again, just to go back over it, so we got our data, current, and our wind speeds, a number, string. Our sunrise is all strings, so pretty easy to do. Go Raleigh, search it up, and everything works. Nice. All right. So now let's close out of this, and let's close out of this, and our input. Let's go back to this page. And now what we have to do, let's start styling up our like default page. So with this page here, and let me go back, and this would be pretty fast. So I put welcome to weather app, welcome to the weather app, and under here it's going to be the p tag, and it's going to say enter a city name to get the weather forecast. All right. And for the div, we're gonna do a class name of text white, text center, and a height of screen, and a margin top of 5 rem. Like that. That way it could be nicely in the middle. All right. And then we're gonna give this a class name of X3XL and a font of semi-bold and a margin bottom of 4. All right. Nice. Actually, I'm not gonna do semi-bold. I don't even think I got semi-bold. Let's just do font bold. Alright, nice. And then this one, it's just gonna be a class name of just text XL. A little bit bigger. Alright, nice. Yeah, I think that's it for that. So now down here for the error, it's gonna be kind of similar. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy. It's actually the same exact thing. So for the class name, text white, and text center, get rid of that. Height screen 5 rem. Let's put an error so we can see error. And for the p tag, we're going to do the same exact thing. Text 3x, class name. All right. And then for the p tag, just a class name of just text XL. I don't know if that XL is doing something. Is it even getting bigger? Okay, it does. Okay. Text XL, nice. So enter a valid city, city not found. Nice. This is looking really good. Really good. Alright, so why did my styling go away on this? Oh, what the hell? Oh, I got rid of it. All right, there we go. Now it looks good. And it should also look good on mobile. Nice. And you see how the order change on that? Like it goes underneath instead of it being on top. And you can search up Raleigh. And you got the night, all the weather details. Nice. All right, let's get rid of that. All right, So now, I think we're really done. Trying to think of what else we have to do. We got all of it. We got the flex roll. Everything's working on that. These errors here, I wonder why that's happening. Type, it's missing the following properties, current. Okay, let's go back to these right quick. Maybe there's something that we're missing. Okay. Because we're not using data.current, we're just using data. Wait, are we? Yeah, we're using data.current. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you guys followed along. If you guys did ended up using TypeScript, there are 3 errors that I couldn't figure out. TypeScript isn't needed to get this project done, so I'm not sure if you guys put TypeScript in or not. I just prefer to use TypeScript because I'm currently learning how to use TypeScript, so I try to add it to all my projects. And like I said, it's something that you can learn as you go. It's not, you know, really something that you have to sit down and watch tutorials for. You just add it to your project, and errors like this will pop up, and you just got to figure them out. So yeah, it's not really needed. The app is working fine. So right now, this is our initial page, and search up Raleigh. And now we have our data here. And let's actually search up something else other than Raleigh, because I've been searching on Raleigh. So we got Paris, and right now in Paris is 61 with a today is Tuesday, right? So a high of 66 and a low of 46. And their wind speed is 12.5 miles per hour. Alright. So yeah, and that's really it for this video. It's nice and responsive, so you guys can add this to your portfolio if you want. And yeah, that's it for me. I will see you guys in another tutorial. Peace out.